Let's start with Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Let's do some Radha Jap. Radha, Shri Radha, Radha, Shri Radha, Radha, Shri Radha, Radha, Shri Radha. We are reading Bhagwat Geeta as it is by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedant Swami Prabhupada, founder Acharya of International Society for Krishna Consciousness. We are in chapter 2, text 14. O son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress and their disappearance in due course are like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer seasons. They arise from the sense perception, O scion of Bharat, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. It's a lot of noise. Okay, let's read the purport. In the proper discharge of duty, one has to learn to tolerate non permanent appearances and disappearances of happiness and distress. According to Vedic injunction, one has to take his bath early in the morning, even during the month of Magh. Magh is Jan to Feb. It is very cold at that time, but in spite of that, a man who abides by the religious principles does not hesitate to take this bath. Similarly, a woman does not hesitate to cook in the kitchen in the months of May and June, the hottest part of the summer season. One has to execute his duty in spite of climatic inconveniences. Similarly, to fight is the religious principle of the Kshatriyas, and although one has to fight with some friend or relative, one should not deviate from his prescribed duty. Yes, it's so important. Come what may, we must keep doing our prescribed duties. Even though we fight, even though we have um, quarrels with our mother, father, but we continue to love them, right? So it should not disturb the love, the duty that we have for them, the responsibility that we carry for them. Yes, one has to follow the prescribed rules and regulations of religious principles in order to rise up to the platform of knowledge, because by knowledge and devotion only can one liberate himself from the clutches of Maya, that is illusion. The two different names of address given to Arjun are also significant. To address him as Kaunteya signifies his great blood relations from his mother's side, and to address him as Bharat signifies his greatness from his father's side. From both sides, he is supposed to have a great heritage. A great heritage brings responsibility in the matter of proper discharge of duties. Therefore, he cannot avoid fighting. So, so they say that मुझे और ऊपर जाना है और ऊपर जाना है और ऊपर जाना है. I want to conquer more and more and more. But at the same time, what you're doing is you are creating more and more depth also for yourself to fall. Right? So जितना आप ऊपर जाने वाले हो, understand you are creating a depth, a ditch for yourself as well, that deep only. So don't be in that rush to grow more, or fight and be aggressive. So immediately, suddenly there is a shift that, yeah, wherever I am, I am good, and wherever I am, I will keep doing my duties. I am so generally what happens is for I'll give you one example. हम लोग मम्मी से झगड़ा कर लेते हैं लाइक मम्मी आपने टिफिन नहीं बनाया इसलिए मेरे को ऑफिस जाने के लिए लेट हो रहा है वेरी बेसिक ओके तो तुम्हें ऑफिस क्यों जाना है क्योंकि तुम्हें दिखाना है ना कि मैं पंक्चुअल हूं मैं ये हूं मैं वो तुमको डिसिप्लिन में रहना है वो तुमको रहना है ना डिसिप्लिन में तो तुम दूसरों से झगड़ा क्यों कर रहे हो कि तुम्हारी वजह से मैं नहीं तुम्हारी वजह से मैं ऊपर नहीं जा पा रही हूँ तुम्हारी वजह से मैं डिसिप्लिन नहीं हो पा रही हूँ नहीं तुम भी जल्दी उठ के हेल्प करो मम्मी को और तुम्हारा तुम देख लो ना so what happens once we understand that whatever we want to do is our responsibility and whatever comes summer or winter we have to keep doing it we will stop getting affected by being late or being on time or being a perfect person or being this being that no that acceptance will come that whatever we are today and whatever however my mom is helping me I'm blessed for whatever it is nothing more nothing less yes the, let's move to text 15 o best among men Arjun. The person who is not disturbed by happiness and distress and is steady in both is certainly eligible for liberation. Yes. Let's read the purport. Anyone who is steady in his determination for the advanced stage of spiritual realization and can equally tolerate the onslaughts of distress and happiness is certainly a person eligible for liberation. So happiness and distress both are same things. In both situations, we are same. That realization is something that we can get once we have spiritually realized ourselves. And once that happens, we are free from the clutches of Maya. So when we become a when we start noticing our life as it is going, so we become the spectators we are more at peace because we are in acceptance that ये हो रहा है it's like a movie you're watching your own life as a movie ये हो रहा है ये हो रहा है ये हो रहा है इसमें मैं बेस्ट क्या कर सकती हूँ you know so never will happiness take you to a very high flight nor distress will ditch you down in the underground okay so the emotions are always regulated because of this approach. Yeah. In the Varnashram institution, the fourth stage of life, namely the renounced order, that is sannyas, is a painstaking situation. But one who is serious about making his life perfect surely adopts the sannyas order of life in spite of all difficulties. The difficulties usually arise from having to severe family relationships. Yes, तुम्हें अपने रिलेशन अपने रिलेटिव से दूर रहना है to give up the connection of wife and children. You have to give up your family if you want to become a sannyasi. But if anyone is able to tolerate such difficulties, surely his path to spiritual realization is complete. So most of us don't have such a big difficulty in many things. Everybody has difficulty in letting go of something. There is something called Lent in Christians. There's something called Ramzan in Muslims. There's something for Jains also where they fast. So in all these kind of penance, like in austerity, we are what we are trying to do. We are trying to live a life of sannyasi for our self realization so that we can focus on ourselves we can focus on reaching that equilibrium that dukh में भी और सुख में भी हम समान ही है हम झेल सकते हैं हम टॉलरेट कर सकते हैं and yes we are always in acceptance and surrender to God Similarly, in Arjun's discharge of duties as Kshatriya, he is advised to persevere even if it is difficult to fight with his family members or similarly beloved persons. Yes. So you have to keep doing your duties. You have to keep being what you are made of. अभी अगर भगवान ने आपको मदर बना है तो आपको माँ की सारी ड्यूटीज आपको तो करनी ही है. देयर इज नो वे अबाउट इट. अगर आपको डॉटर बना है, डॉटर की सारी ड्यूटीज आपको निभानी है, भले यू आर हैप्पी, यू आर सैड, वॉट एवर इज द स्टेट ऑफ योर माइंड, you have to continue doing your duties because that is the only way to liberation. Yes. Lord Chaitanya took sannyas at the age of 24, and his dependents, that is, young wife as well as old mother, had no one else to look after them. Yet, for a higher cause, he took sannyas and was steady in the discharge of higher duties. That is the way of achieving liberation from material bondage. Yes. When the realization comes, of course, he as a husband had to leave his family and become a sannyas because the realization has come that there is a higher duty to for God for you to accomplish. Okay. So in that case, when that happens, there's no one to take care of the family. But he will still provide in such a way. So it is just the time where the family has to level up, right? So this is also the chance for them to grow. So whatever is happening because of the order of the Lord, and we are supposed to follow that order of the Lord as acceptance that because it is all for you. Whatever I do is for Krishna or your God, whoever, because that is why I have come in this position. That is why I have come to this level or this location to do this. And now, when I have come, I've been made to come here, and I say that I don't want to do it, then you are disrespecting. Then you are not doing what you are meant to do. It's like आपने आपने किसी को कहा, आपने कुक को हायर किया और कुक बोल रहा है कि मुझे तो खाना नहीं बनाना आता ही नहीं है मुझे, तो क्या बात होगी? यू नो, इट्स लाइक दैट. टेक्स्ट 16. Those who are seers of the truth have concluded that of the non-existent, the material body, there is no endurance, and of the eternal, the soul, there is no change. This they have concluded by studying the nature of both. Yes, let's read the purport. There is no endurance of the changing body. That the body is changing every moment by the actions and reactions of the different cells is admitted by modern medical science, and thus growth and old age are taking place in the body. Yes, but the spirit soul exists permanently, remaining the same despite all changes in the body and the mind. Yes, spirit soul को कुछ नहीं होता है, ना ही वो बढ़ता है घटता है, कुछ नहीं होता है, but body keeps changing. So spirit soul is same all through the life. That is the difference between matter and spirit. By nature, the body is ever changing and the soul is eternal. This conclusion is established by all classes of seers of the truth, both impersonalist and personalist. ये तो सब मानते हैं. In the Vishnu Puran 2.12.38, it is stated that Vishnu and his abodes all have self-illuminated spiritual existence. Jyotimsi Vishnur Bhuvanani Vishnu. The words existent and non-existent refer only to spirit and matter. That is the version of all seers of truth. So the truth is that you are existing as well as not existing, both together. That is the truth. But to realize that takes like a lot of strength. This is the beginning of the instruction by the Lord to the living entities who are bewildered by the influence of ignorance. Removal of ignorance involves the re-establishment of the eternal relationship between the worshipper and the worshipable, and the consequent understanding of the difference between the part and parcel living entities and the Supreme Personality of God. One can understand the nature of the Supreme by thorough study of oneself, the difference between oneself and the Supreme being understood as the relationship between the part and the whole. In the Vedanta Sutras, as well as in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the Supreme has been accepted as the origin of all emanations. Yes, such emanations are experienced by superior and inferior natural sequences. Yes, the living entities belong to the superior nature as it will be revealed in the seventh chapter, although there is no difference between the energy and the energetic. The energetic is accepted as the supreme, and the energy or nature is accepted as the subordinate. The living entities, therefore, are always subordinate to Supreme Lord, as in the case of the master and the servant, or the teacher and the taught. Such clear knowledge is impossible to understand under the spell of ignorance. And to drive away such ignorance, the Lord teaches Bhagwat Geeta for the enlightenment of all living entities for all time. So जो God है, God is, we say na, God is the creator of universe. So how did he create? Because he had to create. How to create more matter? Because I have only spirit. So with help of his own spirit, he he is whole. So he emanated from them. मतलब उन्होंने whole में से खुद को divide किया, खुद को expand किया with his own energy. He expanded himself and he divided it, and he created the universe. अब universe create करने के लिए he created those materials जिससे universe बने. Right? So who is creating all this? Finally, it is the energy of the God. So energy of the God and how it moves, how like if we are, so energy and energetic, these are two separate things. मतलब energy तो है लेकिन उसको चलाने के लिए जो चाहिए, जो thought चाहिए, वो energetic हो जाता है. करेक्ट. एक कोई भी चीज ऐसे ही नहीं पड़ी रह सकती, उसके अंदर अगर आप दिमाग डालोगे तब वो जाके बनती है. लाइक इफ यू आर जस्ट सिटिंग ऑन सोफा, यू आर नॉट गोइंग टू feel active unless you get up and you start moving, right? So you are energetic, and because you got up and you moved, where is that thought coming from? It's not the body who is able to think, it is the mind and the soul which thinks that abhi karo. तो फिर ये करता है, फिर बॉडी करता है, बॉडी मूव करता है, राइट? सो ऑलवेज बॉडी इज अ फॉलोअर ऑफ द माइंड, राइट? So likewise, mind is our Krishna or the God, and body is us. So whatever he tells to do, we do. We end up doing. Whether we know it or we don't know it. So people who are in ignorance may not know. They may think that they are doing it. जैसे कि ये घर मेरा है, ये पैसे मेरे हैं, ये बॉडी मेरी है. लेकिन when you come in awareness, you realize that this is all given to me by God because of my actions. It is not something that existed from the beginning in my name. Correct? Let's move to text 17. That which pervades the entire body, you should know to be indestructible. No one is able to destroy that imperishable soul. Let's read the purport. This verse more clearly explains the real nature of the soul, which is spread all over the body. Anyone can understand what is spread all over the body. It is consciousness. Yes. Everyone is conscious of the pains and the pleasures of the body in part or as a whole. This spreading of consciousness is limited within one's own body. The pains and the pleasures of one body are unknown to another. Therefore, each and every body is the embodiment of an individual soul, and the symptom of the soul's presence is perceived as individual consciousness. Yes. This soul is described as 1/10,000th part of the upper portion of the hair point in size. They've also measured the size of the soul. Imagine, we are we have so much depth in our literature that with the help of meditation, the awareness comes, the knowledge comes, and we start writing the Vedic scriptures, right? That's how they were written. And now they describe that the soul is hair tip ka 1/10,000th part is the size of the soul. The Shvetashvatara Upanishad 5.9 confirms this. When the upper point of a hair is divided into 100 parts, and again each of such parts is further divided into 100 parts, each such part is the measurement of the dimension of the spirit soul. Similarly, the same version is stated in quotations. There are innumerable particles of spiritual atoms which are measured as 1/10,000th of the upper portion of the hair. This is exactly written this way in Sanskrit in this Upanishad. Therefore, the individual particle of spirit soul is a spiritual atom smaller than the material atoms, and such atoms are innumerable. This very small spiritual spark is the basic principle of the material body, and the influence of such spiritual spark is spread all over the body as the influence of the active principles of some medicines present throughout the body. Yes. So body has its way of healing itself, right? How did this happen? All bodies have this capacity or ability because the soul is already spread across the body. वो ऐसे बनाया है कि हर बॉडी में हर सम पार्ट्स में कुछ खुद के ही नुस्खे या मेडिसिन से ऐसे ही बना है जैसे खुद को ही हील कर सके. This current of the spirit soul is felt all over the body as consciousness. Yes. Have you heard Reiki? कैसे होता है? कैसे हील कर सकते हैं रेकी से? So now we know how. Yeah. And that is the proof of the presence of the soul. Any layman can understand that the material body minus consciousness is a dead body. And this consciousness cannot be revived in the body by any means of material administration. Yes. जब तक कॉन्शियसनेस है तब तक बॉडी चलेगी. तो वेंटिलेटर पे रख के बॉडी नहीं चलेगी, right? Therefore, consciousness is not due to any amount of material combination, but to the spirit soul. In the Mundaka Upanishad 3.1.9, the measurement of the atomic spirit soul is further explained. In quotations, the soul is atomic in size and can be perceived by perfect intelligence. This atomic soul is floating in the 5 kinds of air. So air, okay. Understand that we do pranayam, and we do pranayam. Now we know what is the importance of pranayam. So atomic soul is floating, okay. It floats in 5 kinds of air, okay. One is pran, one is apan, one is vyan, one is saman, and one is udan, okay. These 5 is situated within the heart, yes, and spreads its influence all over the body of the embodied living entities. When the soul is purified from the contamination of the 5 kinds of material air, its spiritual influence is exhibited. Yes? The quotation closed. The Hatha Yoga system is meant for controlling the 5 kinds of air encircling the pure soul by different kinds of sitting postures, not for any material profit but for liberation of the minute soul from the entanglement of the material atmosphere. Yes. So, the constitution of the atomic soul is admitted in all Vedic literatures, and it is also actually felt in the practical experience of any sane man. Yes. Only the insane man can think of this atomic soul as all pervading Vishnu Tattva. Yes. The influence of the atomic soul can be spread all over a particular body. According to the Mundaka Upanishad, this atomic soul is situated in the heart of every living entity, and because the measurement of the atomic soul is beyond the power of appreciation of the material scientist is not able to prove this. Some of them assert foolishly that there is no soul. Yes, yes. The individual atomic soul is definitely there in the heart, along with the super soul, and thus all the energies of the bodily movement are emanating from this part of the body. Yes, correct? That's what we discussed. The, cop- the corpuscles which carry the oxygen from the lungs gather energy from the soul. When the soul passes away from this position, when soul passes away from this position, the activity of the blood generation fusion ceases. Generating fusion ceases, stops. Medical science accepts the importance of the red corpuscles, but it cannot ascertain that the source of energy is the soul. Yes, energy kahan se aayi? How to direct the energy? The direction is given by the soul. Medical science, however, does admit that the heart is the seat of all energies of the body. Yes. Such atomic particles of the spirit whole are compared to the sunshine molecules. In the sunshine, there are innumerable radiant molecules. Similarly, the fragmental parts of the Supreme Lord are atomic sparks of the rays of the Supreme Lord, called by the name Prabha or superior energy. So, whether one follows Vedic knowledge or modern science, one cannot deny the existence of the spirit soul in the body, and the science of the soul is explicitly described in Bhagwat Geeta by the personality of Godhead himself. Yes. So, जहां तक साइंटिस्ट तो नहीं जान पाए हैं ये सोल के बारे में, पर ये तो पता ही है कि सोल इज द एनर्जी in the body, right? Is the energetic in the body. So body is the energy and the soul is the energetic. So they cannot study. They have not been able to study that. So now to study that, we are reading Bhagavad Gita as God Himself has explained this to us. So in further test, we are going to understand everything about the soul. So let's end here with Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Let's do some Radha Jap. Radha, Shri Radha, Radha, Shri Radha, Radha, Shri Radha.